At the New York Times, we've been covering immigrants for a long time, but this was the first time we were able to use a survey to have a representative understanding of how immigrants across the country, across immigration status, are feeling about Trump's America today. We surveyed 1,800 immigrants. A little over half were citizens and a little under half are non-citizens, and then a small share is undocumented. And what we found were two complicated truths. On the one hand, immigrants feel unsafe. Half of immigrants are feeling fear and anger, and particularly among non-citizens, those numbers are high. So many people who know somebody who's been detained and deported are fearful that they themselves or their family will be detained and deported. Over 30% of non-citizen immigrants said that they're avoiding aspects of their daily life, things like going to work, going to church, taking their children to school. Among undocumented immigrants, that's actually 60%. Half of non-citizens now say that they're carrying their passport or documentation with them. On the other hand, while there were many significant concerns, Trump's increasing immigration crackdown did not deter immigrants' resolve to want to be in America, to want to stay in America. We asked if you could go back in time and do it all over again, if you would still come to the country, and nearly the same share of immigrants said they would absolutely do it all over again. They say that they feel safer here than they felt in their home country. We also asked if they felt like their kids had a better life than they would have, and again, large shares said that they felt their kids would have a better life than they had. On balance, more immigrants oppose than support Trump's efforts to detain and deport immigrants. So one thing that was really interesting was just the dramatic split between how people felt about immigration overall and how they felt about Trump's enforcement at the border. About 40% of immigrants were in favor of Trump's efforts to increasingly deport undocumented immigrants, and that included about a quarter of undocumented immigrants themselves. We also asked about how they felt about Trump's actions at the border, and there we saw a majority, 60% of immigrants said that they were in favor of Trump's actions at the border. Even as they felt like he was cracking down too hard in the cities where they lived, they felt like at the border he was keeping out the people that they felt shouldn't be here.